Last 20 years, we have seen a lot of technologies addressing public in India. But how inclusive are these technologies? Who is making them? Who owns your language? You shouldn't be paying some license fees for translating your content, even writing on your language. Your language is not a product specific feature of a big tech. Communities need a decision-making role in technology designs affecting them. Mostly community does not have any role in any of this. This is where I want to make a change. I am Anivar Aravind. I am a public interest technologist who work on technologies for helping digitally underserved. We are talking a lot about digital India these days, but usually we forget the inclusion part. I was interested in all this people struggle for common property resource, especially governing common property resource like right to water, right to forest, the fish workers struggle for coastal management. All these kind of things I was somehow connected, associated, and then I found that free software is also saying the same thing, right to copy, modify, redistribute your software. So I found that quite fascinating and tried to learn more about it, and then I discovered the user groups. So there was user groups like Free Software User Group Kochi, Free Software User Groups Bangalore, Linux Bangalore. We started Swantantara Malayalam Computing as a group which works on development, standardization, improvement of Indian languages in computers, mobiles and web. That's why the motto of organization is our language for our computers. Many of our effort in last 15-20 years helped in contributing to the improvement of Indian languages in your computers, mobile phones, webs, etc. We built all the building blocks of Indian languages to allow people to write, express and communicate in their own native languages via digital devices. Initially we started with Malayalam, then after some time we figured it out that it is easier to fix this for all Indian languages instead of just do it for Malayalam. Primarily we did for desktops, then we did for web, then we did for mobile. This is a time, I think 2005 is the period in which Microsoft started offering teachers training in Kerala and Karnataka, many of the Indian states in Windows software. So some of us from free software communities asked government why it is only on Windows while there is also free and open source software available, right? So government said Microsoft offered free support on top of this. We said that we will offer the free support. Let's do it as vendor neutral. Don't put a vendor name into the computing. It automatically became a movement that resulted in changing the operating system into Linux as the primary operating system of school computing. When smartphone market started spreading from 2010 onwards, whatever we used to do on desktop or web, there was a possibility for doing that via mobile. But at the same time, there was multiple challenges in that segment. Even the interface is also not on Indian languages. So there is no translation for any of the Indian languages properly. And how to type in Indian languages, there is no proper solutions. There is no possibility for a big tech coming and solving that issue because it is fundamental issue, fundamental building blocks. For that fundamental building blocks, unless we unlock and solve this, nobody is going to solve it. So we decided that let's solve the problems fast. The technology on this segment was little difficult, especially because desktops and web, there is multiple set of libraries and mobile need a new set of libraries. So we found that some libraries which is available upstream, we can have expansion on this segment, and we started working with very closely with its developers and built whole Indian language technology around them. And later Google picked up that project as Android default operating system. So display issue sorted that way. We also built solutions for writing, which is the Indic keyboard, and this is a time in which Google is supporting 4 Indian languages. And we expanded it to 12 Indian languages first. 12 Indian languages and 23 layouts first on the first version of the Indic keyboard. Then we expanded it to 23 languages and 54 layout. So all this kind of multiple input methods are supported. So migrating from computers to mobile phones become very easy. Since we built it on open source technologies, it became very popular. The automatic user base of this, just by the mouth publicity itself, is more than 1 million. All the mobile phones sold in India will have at least one keyboard and one Indian language. This we pushed as a BIS standard that is notified in 2016. So we can say that in a simple words, if anyone is using Indian languages in your mobile phones, whether it is Apple, whether it is Android, there is some contribution from us for achieving that. Over a period of time, I moved into questioning technologies which have a problem on inclusion. So especially when it is rolled out in a national level or a bigger population scale. So in Aadhar project, when it is announced itself, we know that it had issues. We know that biometrics is an exclusion technology, not an inclusion technology. So when you put biometrics as the gatekeeper between people and their rights, that is basically excluding people from their rights. We were able to raise for the first time in India to question the technology rollout in multiple levels. And same way in Arogya Setu, I was the petitioner for taking Arogya Setu to Karnataka High Court because contact tracing was not proved as a solution. But at the same time, in the name of contact tracing, we were doing a lot of data tracking without accountability. For example, in Bangalore metros, they were saying that without Arogya Setu, you can't even enter in metros at that point of time. Hospitals, they are saying without Arogya Setu, you can't enter. So basically, your access to rights was prevented based upon an unproven technology without accountability. That was the issue. We took it to Karnataka High Court and we got a favorable judgment. Today the challenges are different. The new challenge is how the languages and the language communities will be able to sustain in the artificial intelligence phase. So a community like Swantantara Malayalam Computing may not be enough for solving all this. If Indian languages need to thrive on artificial intelligence, it needs significant intervention from multiple set of people. It needs academical involvement. It needs intervention from the government. It needs intervention from the people who benefited from Indian languages growth, especially the big techs. And all of them need to contribute back to communities because languages need to be owned by the communities.